She will introduce our new athletic director. We will have a Q&A with Chad Weiberg, followed by President Shrum, Chad Weiberg, and OSU Athletic Director Emeritus Mike Holder being available in a breakout session, so be ready for that. Welcome. What a great OSU day. It is a banner day for Oklahoma State University. I do want to welcome a couple of regents that are here with us today. We have Joe Hall and Rick Davis. We thank you for your leadership. Let's give them a round of applause. As I said, it is a banner day for Oklahoma State University, but it is also an historic day. And the reason being because we have never had an OSU Cowboy hand off the leadership baton to an OSU Cowgirl. That has never happened. So it is a huge day for Oklahoma State. At the same time, we have one of our own handing off the leadership role of the athletic department to another one of our own, another loyal and true Cowboy. And we are very proud of that. With that, it is my honor. By the way, they do say that you can't always hire OSU grads, but it seems that when we do, great things happen. All right, it is my honor to introduce Dr. Casey Shrum, as of today officially the 19th president of Oklahoma State University. Let's hear that. She is a native of Coweta, Oklahoma, a former collegiate student athlete, which we love here in the athletic department, a softball pitcher, and by training, she's a pediatrician. Dr. Shrum was formerly the president of OSU's Center for Health Sciences and the dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine in Tulsa, where she oversaw tremendous enrollment growth, record fundraising, and the expansion of OSU's health campus. Amazing things have happened over there. She recently served on Governor Stitt's cabinet as a Secretary of Science and Innovation, during which time she played a critical role on the pandemic response team, leading the state strategy to ramp up COVID testing and hospital responses across Oklahoma. She and her husband, Darren, who joins us today, our first ever Cowboy, they have 6 children, but I've got to break the news. You now have 25,000 more children. Please welcome our new president of Oklahoma State University, Dr. Casey Shrum.
Well, thank you, Larry. First, I want to commend President Hargis and Coach Holder on the tremendous legacy that you've left here at Oklahoma State University, and know that you're always an important part of the OSU Cowboy family. I'm so pleased to be here with all of you today on a morning that not only marks my first day as president, but also a new chapter for a trusted colleague that I respect beyond measure. As a former student athlete, I know firsthand the grit, determination, and spirit that it takes to compete in the ever-evolving arena of collegiate athletics. Some of my fondest memories are on the softball field competing with my teammates, and that camaraderie has lasted over 30 years. So it's fitting that this is my first official announcement as the president to introduce the new athletic director, because my first introduction to OSU was through a softball camp. Today, as the president of a Division I university, I can say there are few people that I would want on my team more than the smart, professional, and thoughtful leader we have in Chad Weiberg. He will play a key role in the leadership team that I have put together to help us achieve the big, audacious goals ahead of us. Excellence in all areas is the only path forward. Research, teaching, extension, and service are at the heart of the modern-day land-grant university. And when I look at the qualities of the people on my team, servant leadership is at the top of the list. Chad and I first met when he came to work alongside Coach Holder as the Deputy Athletic Director 4 years ago, and I was struck by his heart for student athletes, his vision for the future, and an unmatched servant attitude. He's a cowboy through and through. He holds an undergraduate degree and a master's degree from OSU. And college athletics is in his DNA. His father, Mick, and his brother, Brett, were both college basketball head coaches. His brother, Jared, played basketball here at OSU under Coach Eddie Sutton for a year before moving into the role of team manager. And Chad's uncle, Kevin, served as the commissioner of the Big 12. To say he's ready for the road ahead is an understatement, as he prepares to follow in the footsteps of some legendary OSU figures, such as Ed Gallagher, Mr. Iba, and Mike Holder. The trust placed in Chad by Mike, myself, and our Board of Regents is immeasurable. Please join me in congratulating the 13th Athletic Director of Oklahoma State University and my new team member, Mr. Chad Weiberg.
Thank you, Dr. Shrum. Congratulations to you on your first day. It is humbling and an honor to be the first person you introduce as president. I hope you are president for a long time. And I hope that you never have to introduce another new athletic director. As many of you in the room know, especially my colleagues, under Dr. Shrum's leadership, OSU Health Sciences has been instrumental in helping us and our student athletes during COVID. So we all had a front row seat to witness her leadership. She has transformed our medical school during her tenure there, and we're excited to see that leadership translate to all of Oklahoma State University. I'm honored to be on your team. Thank you. I really tried to convince everyone here that we didn't need to do this today, that we could treat this day like yesterday and like tomorrow and just keep doing what we do every day here at OSU Athletics. But I lost that argument, and probably for the right reasons. And the truth is, for me personally, this is a big deal. It's a dream come true. And like everything and anything that happens in life that is significant, you don't get there by yourself. And that is certainly true for me. There's so many people I want to thank, but I'm just not going to be able to name everyone in the time we have here today. I'm certain they all know it, but I would like to take some time to recognize and thank some of them by name this morning. Of course, I will start with my wife and kids, Jody, my wife, Ella, my daughter, and Grant, my son. I'm grateful for the support they give me and for always being there for me, even though I'm not always there for them. Jody and I are blessed to get to raise our kids in Stillwater and around the OSU family. One of the great things about our profession is we get to have our kids be part of our work, so you'll continue to see them with us watching the Cowboys and Cowgirls. My mom, Vina, and my dad, Mick, are also here. And as Dr. Shrum pointed out, as the son of a basketball coach born in February, I believe I attended my first game at 2 or 3 days old. So perhaps that had something to do with me wanting to be part of sports, but it was their selfless and unconditional love and the sacrifices they made for us along the way that made it possible for each of their sons to believe we could do what we wanted to do. My mom has a big family, and they are all huge sports fans. Many are here, and I appreciate all of you more than you know. Ron, Janet, Laura, Linda, Jerry Don. Thank you for your love and encouragement through the years. My brother Brett, along with my sister-in-law Christy and their kids Jaden, who's a good basketball player like her dad, and Cash, who is on his way to being a good player like his dad. And then my nephew Cole couldn't be here, but he will be a junior here at OSU this fall. So Brett got all the athletic talent in the family, or at least most of it, and has become a great basketball coach. And because he got all the talent, I had to figure out another way to stay involved with sports, because unfortunately for me, it wasn't going to be playing. Thankfully, I had a great example and role model, my Uncle Kevin, who is here and joined by his wife, my Aunt Susan. Kevin has had a remarkable career in athletics administration. He is always someone I looked up to, probably more than he knows, and was always there for me when I had questions about the profession or career opportunity. I only hope I can be close to as good as he is, and I'm going to go ahead and thank him here in advance for any advice he is willing to give me in the future. My mother-in-law Betty and father-in-law Pat are here, along with my brother-in-law Tony and sister-in-law Kelly. Thank you for welcoming me into your family like you have, loving me and supporting us. I couldn't have asked for a better family to join into. And my brother Jared. How I wish he could be with us today and could hear what he would be saying. As a fellow OSU alum, I know he would be excited. We shared a love of this place. And just like I try to do every day, I hope I can make him proud. I appreciate so many of my longtime friends, some that are here today. It means so much to me, and I appreciate you. And to all my friends through the years that aren't able to be here today, but have told me that they would be wearing orange today, there is nothing better. Thank you. There are others that I would like to thank for the support, advice, and opportunity they've provided me throughout my career. There's Dave Martin, who I believe is here somewhere today. He encouraged me to apply for a position here at OSU, which I was fortunate to get, and would be my first full-time job in athletics. Who would have ever thought that 22 years later, he would retire and I would have the opportunity to come back to OSU and fill his position. Thank you, Dave. There's Kathy Jo Warner, Chuck Bedingfield, Dean Lee, Terry Don Phillips, Larry Schell, and Jerry Gill at the OSU Alumni Association. All people I appreciate very much. And because I was lucky enough to start at OSU, I never thought I would leave. But I'm grateful I had the chance to learn, grow, and gain experience elsewhere. I was welcomed with open arms into the K-State family by Ernie Barrett, Amy Renz, Coach Snyder, the Veneer family, and appreciate the opportunity the KSU Foundation, Tim Weiser, and Kurt McGuffin gave me there in Manhattan. And John Curry, Dr. Kirk Schultz, who allowed me to grow in this profession. And so many colleagues that are either still there or have gone on to other places like Laird Beach and Scott Garrett, but all doing great things. And of course, the many great supporters of K-State that I got to know and get to still call friends today. Thank you. Kirby Hokett, who took a chance on me to see if I could do things outside of fundraising and development. We enjoyed our time in Lubbock, and I appreciate Kirby more than I can say for giving me that opportunity. It was a much shorter stay than we imagined it would be, but we have colleagues and friends there that make it feel like it was much longer than that and will last forever. To former President Hargis and first cowgirl Ann, and all of the Board of Regents, Rick Davis, Joe Hall, who are here, thank you for your confidence in me. Thank you for your leadership and all that you have done and continue to do for this university. And last but certainly not least, thank you to Robbie and Coach Holder. Coach, with Robbie by your side, thank you for everything you have done for our alma mater. You have taken this entire athletics department to a place no one but you and Mr. Pickens thought possible. There is not an athletics program here that isn't infinitely better because of your leadership as AD these last 16 years. Everywhere you look, you can see the spectacular results of your tireless efforts on behalf of the Cowboys and Cowgirls that you love so much and have for over 50 years. And that is just the things you can see, but it's also in the places you don't see. Through your example and your actions, you have inspired us to think bigger, dream bigger, and demand more of ourselves than we thought possible. That is the legacy that you leave us and the responsibility that we have to carry forward. Thank you, Coach, for all you have done for our student athletes, our coaches, and our fans. And thank you for all you've done for me. I'm forever grateful. As I mentioned, this is a big deal to me, a dream come true. I've been fortunate to have been here for 4 years now and get reacquainted with and meet so many great people, to work with the coaches, staff, and campus leaders. And there are so many good things happening here, highlighted by the team success of this year amid the backdrop of COVID. Every single one of our teams participated in NCAA postseason play. Through the winter sports, OSU was ranked 20th out of over 300 schools in the Learfield Cup, which measures performance across the department. I believe the spring sports will be added and released tomorrow, and I expect we will be even better. I point that out not to brag or take any credit, but simply to say that I've been fortunate to be part of good things with good people over the last 4 years here. So today we turn a page of sorts, start a new chapter perhaps, but it's the same book. And together we get to keep writing our story, to keep going, to press forward, to expect and believe that our best days still lie ahead. I'm the one up here talking, but this is not about me, and it will never be about me. This is about, first and foremost, our student athletes. Our former student athletes, the current student athletes that are proudly representing this institution all over the world. They are our true north, and the future athletes still to come. This is about the coaches, many that are here, and I appreciate them very much. Like my dad, they are incredible teachers of a game, but also of leadership and life. It is a privilege to work alongside them and get to watch them teach and mentor these young people. This is about our staff, the incredibly skilled and dedicated individuals that come to work every day and share their ideas and their talents to make OSU athletics as good as we can be. And this is about our alumni, donors, and fans who proudly wear orange, give of their time, their passion, and the resources to support the Cowboys and Cowgirls, and do it because they believe in and are proud of what we do and how we do it. There is, no doubt, a lot of change taking place, but it's not just here on our campus, but throughout college athletics, with continued COVID protocols, name, image, and likeness, transfer rules, and possible expanded playoffs. So it is more important than ever that we innovate to take on the challenges of our time and to seize the opportunities. But in doing so, we must never lose sight of our true north, the The talented, smart, courageous young people in our programs are student athletes. That is how there are 52 NCAA national championship banners hanging in this arena, and that is how we will hang more. We take seriously our role and responsibilities to work with you, President Shrum, for the good of the entire institution. With the unique platform we have, we want to help shine a bright orange light on all the great things that will take place here at Oklahoma State University under your leadership. We look forward to working with you as we continue to educate and prepare the next generation of leaders. To close, again, thank you to my family. Thanks to everyone that is here and to everyone who has called or sent emails. I wouldn't be here without you, and I hope you know that. I'm very humbled and grateful for this opportunity. Again, thank you, wear orange, and go Pokes.
So media, if you could raise your hand, wait for the microphone to get to you, and start questions with Chad.
Yeah, Chad, Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman.
Barry.
When you talk about growing up, wanting to be an administrator, fairly, as a teenager, you sort of realize that that's not a usual road. People want to play and then they want to coach or both.
Right.
Where do you think that came from, this desire to administer?
I kind of partly jokingly tell the story that part of it was because my dad said, don't be a coach. Even though he loved it and was really, really good at it, I think he was thinking, doctor, lawyer, something like that. But really it was Kevin. I had a role model right there in the family. I might not have even known that was a path that you could go down except for getting to watch what he did in his profession. And so, as I was thinking about it and thinking, I probably wouldn't be as good a coach as my dad or my brothers, that might be a path that I would want to take to stay involved with athletics.
Hey, Chad, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. You mentioned the challenges of the last year. I'm just wondering, as we sort of start to come out of the pandemic and all of the issues of that, what are the issues front and center for you as you lead the department?
So first and foremost, we are still recovering. I think all athletic departments are from COVID and all the ramifications of that. So we've got budget issues, things like that we'll need to work out of. But what remains to be seen, and what our team is working really hard on, is we've got to get people back. Right? They had a year to sort of get out of the habit to coming to games, coming to Stillwater, and so we want to get people back in the habit of that. And I think our team is doing a great job of that, and we're looking forward to having everyone back.
Yeah, Chad, Robert Allen with Cowboy Network, Pokes Report, a lot of other things.
Yep.
Dr. Shrum made you her first introduction today. You're not introducing him physically, but yesterday it was announced Reed Sigmund is your deputy athletic director.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your experience with him? And his resume looks very strong in the financial category. Is he a key person as far as overcoming the shortfall last year with COVID? Just talk a little bit about Reed Sigmund.
Yeah, Reed will be a big part of everything we do. He'll come in and fill the chief operating role. I had the pleasure of working with Reed at Kansas State, and could not be more impressed with his intelligence, his skill, his relationship building. It's not just what he does, but how he does it. I think he will be a great part of our team, fit in really well with our team. He has just a really well-rounded background and experience that he will bring to our team. So certainly it will be helpful with what you described there, but he'll be part of a lot more than that. Very fortunate to be able to get him onto our team And I look forward, I know some of our staff has had the opportunity to be around him and get to know him a little bit, but look forward to getting him here to Stillwater so everybody can meet him.
Chad, this is Garen Emig of the Tulsa World. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you, Garen.
It's an interesting first day, right? Official first day with what's going on across the country in terms of name, image, and likeness.
Yes, sir.
It's being called monumental, maybe the biggest sea change for college athletics since Title IX. You mentioned it in passing. Does this make your job, how much more, maybe I should put it this way, how much more does something like that make your job challenging? Do you see it as exciting, opportunistic? I mean, how do you go about wrapping your head around something that could change the landscape like NIL?
I think it's all those things. And, you know, I don't know that we fully know yet what that's going to look like. I think it is opportunity. It's here. Our team, our staff has done a great job of preparing OSU athletics to take it on and be part of it. I have not heard yet that any of our student athletes have signed anything, but perhaps they have, and look forward to hearing that. I suspect that we will be soon, and that's a good thing because they can now. And we want to do everything that we can to make it possible for them to take advantage of the opportunities that they have in that area, just like we would want to in any other area. We have spent a lot of time on it. It is something that our staff has had to work on and spend time on. A year and a half ago, we brought on our partner influencer, so it's something that you know, we've been diligently working on for at least that long. But I feel like we're ready to go with it. We will learn as we go. I think all of us are. It's not going to be perfect from the beginning, and we'll make adjustments and tweak as we go. But I feel good about where we are with it. You know, I don't know how it will be. You know, sea change as big as Title IX. I don't know. You know, I kind of remember comments being made about cost of attendance along those lines, and now we don't. You know, we don't even really talk about cost of attendance anymore. So where that falls in the spectrum of change in college athletics remains to be seen, but we're ready.
More questions?
Jason Umquist, Stillwater News Press. Obviously, with the pandemic, budget is going to be an issue and whatnot, but college athletics is also always in an arms race for facilities, and that was something that Coach Holder, you know, definitely improved around here. But coming in, what is kind of your priority with some of those other facilities that may need upgrades or just new facilities in general within the athletic department? Well,
as you mentioned, we're always looking at all of those things, and you're right. I'm very fortunate because of the work that Coach Holder's done. He's done a lot of the heavy lifting, obviously. We do have a facilities master plan, and we will continue to work on that facilities master plan. I'm not going to stand up here and tell you exactly the order of it, but we have been public with the fact that a wrestling training facility is one of our priorities. You know, because of the success we've had in softball, we know that we're going to need to address and want to address that facility as well. And one of the final major pieces of the master plan is an indoor track. We've got to have a facility where our track student athletes can train when it's cold and raining and that sort of thing. So we'll be looking at all of those things, and what the timing of that looks like, we don't know. Part of it will depend on you know, the support we get for those projects.
Yeah, again, Chad, two of the areas that your predecessor was outstanding in were facilities, as Jason mentioned, and then also in hiring coaches. The record there turns out was really outstanding. You come from a family where the head of the family is a coach, encouraged you not to get into it. How much do you look forward to dealing with, and how much does that provide that an expertise for you in dealing with coaches, maybe in a different way than Coach Holder, but still in ways that you can relate?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a coach, right? So Coach Holder was a coach, so he certainly could relate. I think I might have the next closest thing. I lived with one, grew up with one for, you know, my entire life. So I do think that, you know, gives a little bit of an insight and perspective about student athletes and everything, what's important. right? Because you saw it every day. Also the competitiveness, I mean, it was different in the house after a win versus after a loss, right? And but I think that Coach, you're right, Coach Holder did an amazing job. We have an amazing group of head coaches here at Oklahoma State, and if I never have to hire another head coach or in my entire tenure, that would be just fine. But for whatever reason, if I do, I think that it's just it's about who the person is. It's about what's important to them. What are their priorities? Where is their heart? How does that fit into what it is that we do here? I mean, I think that's what Coach Holder's done such a great job of identifying and why they've been so successful, and what I'll try to do moving forward if I have to.
Carson Cunningham, KOCO TV in Oklahoma City. Chad, during your runs at Kansas State and Texas Tech, how much were you holding out hope to come back to Oklahoma State? A lot of people have dream jobs and it just never comes to fruition. How much were you hoping that would come about, and what was it like getting the call back, 4 years ago to come back to Stillwater?
This has always been, my dream job. And like I said, when I got that right out of school, thanks to Dave Martin, I thought, well, I already got my dream, So when the time came to look at moving, it was scary for me. And I knew that if I chose to leave, that the odds of me getting to come back would be slim. No matter how good I might do or whatever, right? The stars, the timing, everything would just have to align, and what are the odds that would happen? And I had to wrap my mind around that to be able to leave and to be able to have, I think, any kind of success wherever I was. If I couldn't do that, I just needed to stay here. But I think I had for some reason, a feeling that getting that experience would be good for me, just in terms of growth. So it was one of those things that I don't even, once you wrap your mind around that, it's like, can you really even dream it, right? Because you just felt like the odds and the chances were so slim. So to get that call and for it actually to happen is, it's hard still for me to wrap my mind around the fact that I'm standing up here today.
Yeah, Chad, when you were here as a student, and then when you worked here before, whether 25, 20, 15 years ago, whatever the timeline, looking where OSU athletics was, facility-wise, and where they're at now, how much easier is this job for you than if you'd have had gotten it in different circumstances?
Yeah. Well, I can't even imagine, I mean, the ramifications of not getting done what Coach Holder's done is scary to think about. But it's made the job possible infinitely, I think more doable. When you look around here, and I think about this all the time, of course I got to come back as a visitor, through all those years, and of course I love doing that because I got to see the improvements that were taking place. But it's amazing what's happened here. But then when you think about that really happened in a 16-year window, makes it all the more remarkable. And there were challenges in that 16 years. There were some economic downturns and everything else that you just thought, well, that's going to change the plan, but it didn't. Just kept going, and it's remarkable to see in any circumstance, but in that short a time frame, I think it's just incredible. And yeah, makes my job much easier.
Any last questions? Okay, we'll go to the breakout session. Monica Roberts is right there to help with President Shrum's interviews. We have some interview areas set up in the back behind the cameras for one-on-ones with everyone else. Stephen Howard will help with Chad. I'll help with Coach Holder. Don't ask him about himself, only ask him about Chad if you want to get an answer.
Yeah. Let me ask one thing, and I may be taking my life into my own hands, but This gentleman wouldn't let us celebrate him. So how about a big round of applause for Mike Holder and everything he's meant for Oklahoma State? I'm hoping he can't fire me today. So thank you all for doing that. And thanks for being here. By the way, just a couple of things. President Shrum is our third OSU alum to lead our university. And by my count, Chad, out of 13 ADs, is our sixth athletic director to be a Cowboy as well. So it's good to be us. Go Pokes. Thanks for being here.